Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Haven't been able to do this for a while. We are now.
This coffee with McCarthy is sponsored by Steph Curry Cognac. One, and it's lights out.
I remember
Ryan
that.
McCarthy is back on his slot on Monday mornings. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning, security. How are you today?
I remember that. I remember that.
My son used the same line on me. How you been, man? You been all right?
Yeah, been all right. Been busy with the podcast. Been busy with work stuff. It's just been busy. But you know, I'm happy to be back. Even though our segment's being it's being pre-recorded, but that's okay. You know, I'm happy to be back.
It is. That's why I got up. That's why my wife woke me up this morning. She says, "You got a segment to record before you go on today." Okay, and I totally forgot because exactly. I totally forgot because she's the one that put it in the calendar. I'm getting better with calendars. As we
happy spouse, happy house, Snowman.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly. And she's one of the best. All right, let's get to it. The draft happened this past weekend. All kinds of chatter about the draft happened, well, all the way up to the draft, let's just be honest. Your initial thoughts on the happenings?
You know, coming into the draft, I had a little bit of fatigue. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm just so sick of the coverage. Who's guy's going number one? This guy could potentially drop. This guy could do this. This guy could do that. All right, can we just save it for draft night, please?
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you very much. That's what I led the show off with in my Snowman's take, and as to why I don't do a mock draft. It's overwhelming to be nice, but it gets way over the top. And if anyone watched night one that I covered here on my channel, the showmanship has got to quit.
It's not just the showmanship, but it's just it's all the stuff that happens beforehand. Mm-hmm. All the hype between a certain 4-letter network and other networks too. It's not just the 4-letter network. It's other networks who do this too.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not going to criticize my own because you know I'm on a network myself, but for a lot of people it's Christmas time. For me, I'm like the exhausted parent who just wants the kids to open the gifts and be done
and open the presents and go back to bed.
They go back to take a nap. Maybe have a glass of wine or have a beer.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, open the presents. Y'all leave me alone. Let me watch a few sports, and I'll have a glass of wine with dinner and go back to bed.
Merry Christmas to all. And to all, shut up. Let me sleep.
Yes,
me alone.
Oh, do Jody and I understand that feeling very well, especially now with grandchildren involved. Oh boy.
Oh man.
But it's the hype, the overhype. Okay, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
It's the overhype. You and I had a chance to talk before we came on air. It's the overhype. It's the stupid overhype. The constant, this guy could drop, this guy could go up, and you're not going to actually find the answers to whomever you pick until down the line during the season. No. Anyway.
And another part of it is that these kids are college kids.
Yes.
They're young. They're young men. I mean, I don't know if they've dealt with some of the NIL stuff. If a lot of these kids have dealt with NIL, the money side of the business.
Yep.
You got a taste of it early with NIL. Now it's just going to be multiplied.
Yep.
In the NFL, because rookies have a scale. The higher your pick, the higher your draft selection, the higher your pay is as a rookie. And the lower it goes, the lower you get paid. But on the same spectrum, you have the most. You get the opportunity to make the most of that opportunity
Yes.
and and earn yourself a bigger contract or get extended for a 5th-year option, so you get that big money towards the end of your rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you got. Like I said, I don't know if you're already jaded with the money. I hope you're not, but look at it as an opportunity for growth. Looking for an opportunity to excel, and if you make that money and things don't work out, and you have to leave the league or you have to retire early, invest well, invest it well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't blow it. We've seen too many examples of that. If you watched that 30 for 30 broke, which we brought it up either last Tuesday or last Saturday show on No Crunch. We talked about how many kids go broke in a matter of years because they're wasting their money on paying their friends, paying their entourage, buying cars, buying houses. And I get it. You want to pay back those who brought you brought along the way, but at the same time you have to establish boundaries.
Yep, you have to. My wife asked me the question over the weekend while we were doing the Saturday draft and doing the coverage of that. She says, "What would you do if you were in this situation?" I said, "Baby, everything is to my family, my immediate family, and that's it. My wife, children, and my grandchildren, and that's all. Maybe a couple of extra people that were there for me when I started this journey 30 years ago. You know, one of which is a part of this program, and he's taking a break right now. Of course, that's Victor. And my immediate staff, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Anybody else, if you weren't there with me when I started this thing in 1995, especially when I started this show in 2013, don't talk to me."
I'd splurge on one item and one item only.
And that is?
To be determined. You know what? Ask me again at the end of the segment. Ask me again at the end of the segment. I'll come up with a good answer.
I know what I'd splurge on. A big fat motorhome for me and Jody. I'd splurge on that. I'd make I'd splurge on that for me and the wife. I'd splurge on a couple things for my kids. And that's all. The rest of it, hand it to Jody. You know better than I. Invest this, and I trust you. And that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like with it making a big money contract or winning the Powerball or winning the lottery. You can't blow it. You can't blow it all.
No,
you can't blow it all. You have to. You can splurge on one thing, maybe one or two things. That's it.
That's it.
And then the rest of it, put it away. Put it away.
Put it away and let it accumulate. Yep. Speaking of blowing it, what the hell did the Pittsburgh Steelers do on Thursday? We opened with that this morning as like a little teaser of what we're going to discuss during the second half of the show, but how do you see a glaring need and you don't address it? How do you do that?
I think they were just trying to go best available. But a lot of teams do that. And here's the thing with best available in the draft. All right. Best available, it could pan out or it could be a disaster.
Yep.
And I think what Pittsburgh was doing here. And was defensive tackle really a need?
No. Listen.
You have one of the best defensive tackles in the league already.
The entire Snowman in the Morning group, you included, talked about this. The glaring need for the Pittsburgh Steelers was a quarterback.
QB1. Yeah, sorry.
Necessary. Yeah, you got to put the one. You know how.
I know.
You know how over detailed. They needed a starting quarterback. Period. And they didn't get one.
Nope.
What?
So who's your quarterback room right now in Pittsburgh? Mason Rudolph? And that's it.
The only recognizable name I know, Mason Rudolph, who's been there since day one, made a couple of spot starts for Big Ben during Big Ben's last year, led the Steelers to an unfortunate tie against the Detroit Lions 4 years ago.
Oh,
I'm still wondering how they tied the Lions.
here's the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback depth chart as of this record, as of today. QB1 is Mason Rudolph. QB2, Will Howard, who just won a national title at Ohio State. QB3, reach for the Skylar Thompson.
You know, I wanted to have a late night chat with the guys, but I was in bed already after all this done.
Think about this. Skylar Thompson almost beat the Buffalo Bills 3 years ago in the playoffs.
Yep, he most certainly did.
That wasn't Tua. It was Skylar Thompson.
It was Skylar Thompson. It was Skylar Thompson.
Reach for the Skylar
What's
Thompson.
the bet? What's the bet that Will Howard will turn into QB1 this season?
I give it 4 games.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Justin Fields got 6. He was 4-2 and got benched.
I got benched. Yep.
Russell Wilson.
Mr. Unlimited, dear God in heaven.
Unlimited for at least 1 season.
Yes.
Until Jackson Dart takes over.
Yep. Listen, I think Jackson Dart should get the keys week 1 for the New York Giants.
I think they want to take their. This is my guess. I'm just spitballing out here. I think Dable wants to develop him because he couldn't do it with Daniel Jones.
Right.
With Indiana Jones. You're welcome, America.
Yes.
You're welcome, Internet.
Yes.
I think Dable.
And you're welcome, Mrs. Snow, because she had a lot to say about that. They get someone that is. I'll say this: the Colts get someone that's established, and got his fair chances in New York. Led the Giants to a playoff season, 1 playoff season, and 1 playoff win, and then on a team whose quarterback room is in disarray right now because we don't know what the hell's going on with Anthony Richardson. I think that's the stability that the Colts need, and you get him while he's young, also.
Yes, because I was talking about this with my co-host Dustin today on Sunday. We talked about Sam Darnold. He's a Seahawks fan, as you know.
Yes.
And the fact that Sam Darnold got himself a nice bag of change in the offseason in free agency. Sam Darnold's rookie year was 2018. He's only 27 years old?
He's 27.
But it feels like he's been in the league forever.
Isn't it?
It's the weirdest thing. And this is his 5th team.
You can say the same about Daniel Jones. It seems like he's been in the league forever. I watched his final game at Duke.
Let me correct myself. His 5th team.
You know, Cole's going to get a kick out of that.
I know.
but the same applies to Daniel Jones. He spent most of his career with the Giants. This is his 6th season seventh season in the league, because I watched him play his final game at Duke in the Quick Lane Bowl when he sliced Northern Illinois to pieces.
Yeah. The problem is he hasn't been given a steady offensive line.
Right.
He didn't have a steady run game until Saquon came along, had that great season in 2023 or 2023 when they went to the playoffs.
Right.
Played Minnesota and beat Minnesota in that epic game. Epic wild card. Then got beat to dust the next week in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
But you got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. You've got a new target in Tyler Warren. Dallas Clark 2.0, anybody? Is Dallas Clark going to let him wear number 44?
I don't think he should.
Okay.
I don't think he should, because to use a conversation that was relayed to me about Abdul Carter wanting to wear number 56 with the Giants.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor said absolutely not.
Absolutely not. He said, get your own number and make history with that. I think the same applies here with Tyler Warren. You want Tyler Warren to establish his own, but we all can see immediately as you said, Dallas Clark 2.0, and it takes a lot of pressure off of Mo Alley Cox, who is now entering his 10th season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they needed to fill that need. I
did.
was honestly secretly hoping that Tyler Warren would go to the Jets at 7, but at the same time, I knew they needed some offensive line help. And if they didn't address it in the first round, if they had selected Warren in the first round, they weren't going to get that stud at right tackle in the second round.
No.
So they had to pick that choice. They made that choice and they picked up Armand Membu from Missouri, who is, I guess he's an absolute. From what I understand, I at first I was like, who? Because I don't really pay attention much to college football anymore. But from seeing some of the tape, and hearing about some of the things that he's done at Missouri,
mm-hmm.
I applaud this pick. And you've got 2 tackles to build around for the future. Actually, you've got most of your offensive lines under 25.
Mm-hmm.
Olu Fashanu's 22.
Mm-hmm.
Armand Membu's 21. Joe Tippmann is, I think he's 23. Lajaver Tucker's 25. And you got John Simpson, who is a veteran in the league, but he's still, I think he's only 28 or 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So you're building for the future right there. 4 your 5 starters next year on the offensive line were drafted in the last 4 seasons, and they're still 25 years old and younger.
Mm-hmm.
And if you exercise that option, I think they exercised the option on Elijah Vera Tucker last year.
Yeah,
you're going to have a line that is going to be, God forbid that any of them leave after the rookie deals are up.
Yeah,
this is a line you can establish as a future future elite, hopefully elite line in the NFL. Hopefully.
How will that help Justin Fields?
I think this season they're gonna go with a lot of the run pass option. They're not. I don't think he's gonna be running for his life like he was in Chicago.
Thank God.
And in a way in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely not gonna feel like he's gonna be in Chicago, where he's gonna have to basically run around and literally run to keep the Bears or the Jets in contention.
Run and make stuff up at the same time, which is in Chicago.
Yeah. And by the way, congratulations to everyone who got the trade rumors wrong for Breece Hall, because there were rumors that Breece Hall the Jets were shopping around Breece Hall, and it's like, I'm not shopping Breece Hall. Are you kidding me?
No, that's a cornerstone.
That is a cornerstone.
Why would the Jets shop one of their cornerstones? Okay.
I wish I
don't have an answer for that either. Speaking of answers, the 49ers gave me a few answers over the weekend with how they beefed up their defensive line. They drafted Mykel Williams out of Georgia, and so many people were asking me initial thoughts of Mykel Williams. I said a partner in crime for Nick Bosa.
Okay. Yeah. No, I definitely could be. I mean, they're looking for that other edge. They had Chase Young a couple years ago, but he went up going to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been looking for that other edge to spell Nick Bosa, and you might have found him.
Yeah, they worked hard on their defense. I would love to have seen them address their offensive line, but I think they're going to wind up addressing their offensive line during training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are going to be some names floating out there, young names floating out there that the 49ers can grab and plug in. And of course, you got the quarterback with Brock Purdy. That's already taken care of, and they're going to take care of him. They were poached in the free agent market. They were poached, but a lot of those holes got filled immediately this past weekend. I'm just waiting to see how it all plays out.
I was surprised, and I sent you a message on Thursday while you were streaming when San Francisco was up, and I said, "You dirty rotten Niners are going to pick up Tyler Warren, aren't you?" So I was surprised they didn't, because George Kittle loved that guy. I'm sure 49ers fans also love that guy, but he's had some injury issues over the last couple seasons.
That he has.
And he's going to hit 30. I don't know if he's already hit 30 yet, but you need that tight. I think you need that future tight end.
Mhm.
And I thought Tyler Warren was going to fall to them. And then when I saw them, they drafted Mykel Williams. I'm like, or select an edge. What the heck do I know?
That was a live conversation Ryan and I had while I was doing the first round.
It was one-sided, but it was live.
It was. It was. Because I looked at it and I laughed, and then I saw the pick, and then the next pick came in. Speaking of picks, what the hell happened? I said what the hell happened in Pittsburgh. What the hell happened in Cleveland? Because the AFC North.
Cleveland did so good until the third round.
Yep.
Then the fifth round,
Mhm.
not the fifth, but the fifth round came along, and you drafted another quarterback. And I said to myself, okay, so we did a discussion on Shedeur Sanders' free fall.
Yes.
And I said, and I had said it's not about race because the black quarterback got taken number 1.
Right.
Not about race. It's
No.
not, and whoever says this is all about race, this is all about race. No, shush.
Well, you know they're still going to be saying it.
Of course they are because they need the clicks and the views.
They need the clicks, they need the views, and they need the attention.
Yeah, you're just desperate for attention at this point.
That's all. That's it, and that's all.
I think a lot of it had to do with coaches. If a team drafted Shedeur,
Mm-hmm.
that tells the head coach, this better be a great year, or else I'm out of a job, and it's, hi, can I speak with Coach Sanders, please? Thank you.
Yes.
Right away, because that's the only coach that Shedeur has ever had is his father.
Is his father.
So now you got a quarterback room. This is the quarterback room in Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, although he's not playing this year because of two torn Achilles tendons.
2 of them.
Two. Dos. Duh. Zwei. I think it's Zwei. Deshaun Watson. Joe Flacco, who they should have never let walk out.
Never let go. Should have never let him go.
Kenny Pickett. Dylan Gabriel. And Shedeur Sanders.
Now, why did you pick 2 quarterbacks?
Because it's Cleveland.
Or the rate, yeah, because it's
Brown's
Cleveland.
gonna Brown.
Brown's gonna Brown, absolutely, and especially given the fact that after they selected Dylan Gabriel, the race uproar went upside down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what. Well, it's like I said, it was never about race. Part of it was NFL coaches fearing that, my job's in jeopardy because they're going to bring in Dion.
Mm-hmm.
Although Dion has said he's committed to Colorado.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
We'll see.
We will see how long that lasts.
But I also think another reason for it is because of just hype.
Mm-hmm.
It's hype between I think Dion just hyped Shedeur up so much.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he was very accurate at Colorado and Jackson State. He's accurate, shows a strong arm at times.
Mm-hmm.
But there were I guess there were some rumors about his interviews. I think the Giants interviewed him, and they said that Dable had sent him like a pre-package to go over what packages they have, and he was woefully unprepared, which is why they picked Dart over Sanders.
Failure to plan is planning to fail. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail.
John Wooden.
Mm-hmm. And Shedeur Sanders.
Wayne Gretzky.
Shedeur Sanders. From a football standpoint, and you got to include the combine, the pro day, and the interviews.
He didn't even do a combine.
He
wasn't even on the combine.
I believe that cost him. I think that's part of the reason.
That could be part of the reason why it cost them.
Mm-hmm. I'm inclined to believe that really cost him. Because if you do a pro day and you let the scouts see what you can do, and they make their judgment off of that instead of off of game tape that is now already old, especially their last game when they got smacked by BYU in the Alamo Bowl, and a couple of coaches have gone off of that tape. But it's still old tape. At the same time, you don't do the combine and show that you have recovered from that bad loss at BYU. You don't, I mean, you're just leaving a lot of questions, and you got no business leaving all those questions either.
And now you're in Cleveland.
Over or under games where he sees the field before Dylan Gabriel?
Do we really need to put a number on it?
For giggles, let's.
So you're asking how many games he'll start compared to Dylan Gabriel?
Yep. I'm going there. I'm going all the way there.
I want to hear your number.
I don't think Shedeur sees the field. I don't want to think that, but I'm thinking that.
I think he'll see the field because the Browns might think that somebody is going to be foolish enough to try to trade for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I hate saying his name, but I'll say it anyway. If Antonio Brown were still owner of the Albany Empire, he would have been on the phone after the third round and said, "Hey, Shedeur, I'm gonna play a game in Albany. Give you $150,000." But praise the Lord, he is persona non grata in Albany, New York.
Praise the Lord for that.
Because
the Firebirds are back.
These guys are back. These guys are.
Speaking of the Firebirds, here's where we close up shop and go to a break. You sent me a score over the weekend.
Sure did.
And I have to admit two things. One, wasn't expecting it. And two, I was half asleep here in the office. When I looked at that score, I thought I was dreaming.
It was a real score.
And I said, what? Yeah, and you confirmed it. And like, that's the score.
That was the score.
Yow.
And I'll tell you what happened. So I did a little digging. This was actually this was before and during No Credentials Required on Saturday.
All right.
Come to find out that the owner of the Corpus Christi Tritons and their players are at loggerheads about salary. Apparently, they have not been paid in weeks.
Holy cow!
So the players who were on the roster, that includes former Albany Firebird, Darius Prince, wide receiver, and former Albany Firebird and Albany Empire member, I forgot his first name, Hollis. I'll say Darian Hollis? I can't remember his name. Anyway, they said, we're stating on principle. We want to play, but at the same time, we haven't been paid in weeks. We're not gonna play this game. So Corpus Christi had to crispy. I don't know. They were crispy. They're crispy now.
Yeah.
They had to bring in replacement players to play in this game who had like maybe a handful of hours to prepare against a team that had been squashing opponents. Because look,
badly.
Let's look at the Firebird schedule real quick. All right.
Yes.
They're 6-0. They're now 6-0. They're playing their last 4 games of the season at home in the friendly confines of MVP Arena. Let's take a look. This is their scores in all 6 wins. Week 1, 78-20 over Southwest Kansas, and I guess Southwest Kansas has gotten better since, but we'll see if we'll play them again. Week 2, 42-34 against Nashville. That is the 8 point. The 8 points is the lowest amount of points they've won. Following week, 57-27 against Salina.
Oh no!
Following week, 62-24 against Billings, who they lost to in the Arena Football Championship last year.
I guess that 42-34 game really woke them up.
I tried to watch that game, and Nashville was tough that game, but Albany got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
The week after that, they traveled to Billings, Montana, and beat Billings 39-7. And then the following week, and then they traveled to Corpus Christi, Texas, and they beat the Tritons 100-12. Now, Albany's been that good this year.
Mm-hmm.
Albany has been the class of AF1 this year.
Yeah.
They have 4 games left. Let's see if they make it to 10-0. They've got Salina, Nashville, Corpus Christi again. We'll see if they have a team by then. And then the final week of the season, they meet Washington. Then there's the playoffs. I think they have 2 weeks, a week of playoffs and semifinals, and then the championship week after that. I forgot if it's going to be if the top seed's going to host this year, or if it's going to be in East Rutherford again at the
mall,
at the Dusty Roads American Dream Mall. Although that was pretty, I will admit that was pretty fun to see. That was pretty cool to see up close and in person.
That had to be.
It was pretty cool. Although the Firebirds came out the short end of the stick in that one. But I think a lot of the members came back, and they were like, I don't want this feeling again.
Right.
And right now, I mean, they bring back Sam Castronova, who played in San Antonio last year. And just Coach Damon Ware just knows how to he knows how to pick talent. And this team is fast. This team will hit you in the mouth. This team will beat you to sleep. I mean, the average margin of victory is astounding right now. Astounding.
Yeah, I believe it. You beat a team by 88 points, it's bound to go up a lot.
Uh-huh.
Beat a team by 88 points, and that margin of victory is going to go off the page.
They've outscored their opponents 378 to 124.
Man, go to work. I gotta go get it. 378 to 124.
Uh-huh.
In 6 games. 378 to 120. They better host the Arena Bowl.
They're averaging 63 points per game.
That's all I need to know.
There you go.
Ryan McCarthy joining us. He's back with us on Monday mornings. And I think that's how we'll close this segment. The weirdest score or news item that you found before you come on. Because that one was perfect.
There you go.
Thanks a lot, partner. Appreciate you.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Yep, boss. Turn your mic on.
See, that's your fault.
How the fuck is that my fault?
Fuck if I know. All right, we got somebody waiting for us.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic blocked. I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
The Playmaker is here to close out the show.
Agent Zero.
I am just going to give him the floor, and we're just going to give him the floor for the final 12 minutes.
The Jason Bourne of the NBA.
Wherever he starts is
no. Victor, where you want me to start it, sir?
NBA.
I'll definitely want to start the NBA.
Want me to start in NBA?
Because I was gonna
do
say,
this.
like, I hope you would have came tomorrow because you said if you weren't busy, you'd be flaming the Rockets and the refs in Detroit.
I think this is going to be a double play for him because I want him back tomorrow if he's available. But let me
I'll
do this and
I'll
do
be
this
here tomorrow.
properly.
I would definitely be here tomorrow.
Good,
All right.
good.
But-
And he's going to hang
but-
with us for the entire 2 hours.
Let
Let me do this.
Certain games have.
All yours, partner. Go for
All
it.
right, so they want me in the NBA. So, Big Dog,
Yes, sir.
what team you want to hear from?
You know what? Let's start with my beloved Boston Celtics because you know the father is going to be delivering the end of season service on the Lakers later on this week.
All right, so basically, Shane Dog is throwing me under the bus already. Good enough.
Well, you know, I am one of the sim racers around here. I know how to throw people underneath the bus and then hit them with the transmission on the way by.
Orlando. Now, I'm gonna see if Big Dog's gonna agree with me on this. 2 out of 4 games you basically gave to the Boston Celtics
I agree with that.
because
You're
of
not
silly
wrong.
mistakes
You're
that
not
you
wrong.
made down the stretch. You actually could have stole game 2 in Boston
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't make silly mistakes, and you could have won last night if you didn't make silly mistakes. You can't make these mistakes when you're going against the champs.
Nope. What do I often
Like-
say, gentlemen? To be the champs, you must unseat the champs.
Woo!
Pablo, fans writer, for everything good that y'all did, y'all didn't do enough in the fourth quarter.
No.
You turned the ball over in the fourth quarter.
The money.
Every time you got the game tied, you committed a turnover or you committed a foul with an and one, and it's like we're right back where we started at.
Mm-hmm.
These things you can't do against a defending champ. You did it twice in 4 games. That's why you're down 3-1. Which sucks for me because I got to talk about it more later on today.
Uh-oh.
I just came back. I got ribs in my hand. I got a bowl of mac and cheese. Now tell me why we're talking about the irrelevant, the hated NBA.
Because that's where the hell we
because
decided to
play-
start with.
Because the playmaker's here.
Fair enough.
Victor,
Yes, sir.
who's on your list?
Oh boy. I mean, I want to go for the elephant in the room,
You got a big enough tranquilizer dart for that?
but actually,
I do.
I'll go with the Rockets.
Oh, so Houston. Hope you learned a very valuable lesson in game 3.
I hope we did too.
You sat there, you didn't have a Jimmy Butler on the court, and you let the Golden State Warriors come back from a double-digit deficit to beat you in game 3.
Just like they did in game 1.
Ouch.
See, but that was Jimmy Butler on the court. They didn't have Jimmy Butler on the court for game 3. There was no Jimmy Butler at all.
Nope.
So Houston, Ime Udoka, what are you doing? This was a prime opportunity for you to say they don't have one of their stars. We can go into their building. We can snatch home court back and make the all Golden State Warriors look like the spot that they're in. These 7 spots. No.
The teams I cheer on have one big problem. They can't win at home. My Panthers can't win at home. My KU football can't win at home. My Houston Rockets, oh look, what can I say? Can't win at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Jr.
But you know, here's I don't mind a game 1 loss because it's the first time that team was in that environment, so they had to understand the magnitude of what was happening. And then Chef Curry said, "This is why I am the chef around here."
Yep.
Do you see how they respond to the game too? I said, "All right, take that to San Francisco." Then they got even more interesting when they said Jimmy Butler would be out. I was like, "Oh Lord, Houston has a prime opportunity to get home court back," and yeah, effed it up.
I hope they bring it back tonight because I'm planning on doing a doubleheader. I'm gonna call Panthers Lightning, and then Rockets Dubs. And if it is a double point deficit in the fourth quarter for my Rockets, I'm cutting stream off.
No, you're not.
Houston, I hope you learn a valuable lesson. You take the games that are handed to you. You don't give them back.
Well, Playmaker,
this ain't Christmas.
I want to ask you, what
was that, Droid?
What? I'm asking this is a question from the Playmaker. What do the Rockets need to do tonight? Not F it up again.
Go back and watch game 2.
Pull it up on the big screen. All right, so this is what we want to do.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you the Golden State Warrior fan on this panel. Did y'all not get smacked in game 2?
Oh, we got spanked.
Yeah,
we got spizanked.
Had 16 rebounds, almost more rebounds than points.
Like Jalen Green, you're supposed to be the future of the league. Tonight is a night for you to show up. Matter of fact, Jalen Green, you know what I want you to do? Go to yesterday's tape and look at what Anthony Edwards did at LeBron James and look at Doncic.
Anthony Edwards smacked them two bitches around like they ain't know tomorrow, like they owe the money.
Anthony Edwards said, "I'm taking over."
Also, Playmaker, Amin Thompson got to look in the mirror and be like, I'm supposed to be the future of this Rockets team, and I'm making myself look like a fool.
See,
one more team for the Playmaker to look at, and then we got to close up shop. Playmaker,
I don't got no team to look at. I got to look at the rest.
Do.
I got a rest to look at.
Oh, okay. Then we'll close with that. Go for it.
I was about to say we got to talk about that game.
Go for it. Go for it, man.
Now, I hear people say they let the boys play all game long in game for the New York Knicks Detroit Pistons series. They kept it consistent. I'm good with that. But I knew when I saw it was a foul. So that's a foul. And then they showed the replay. I was like, that's a foul.
That was legitimately a foul.
And then right after the game,
they said it.
They said it was a foul.
Upon further review.
After the game is over, the broadcast is over, no replay.
Significant contact was made to Tim Hardaway Jr. by Josh Hart, and it was a foul.
Like we saw.
The ever more infamous 3 words, upon further review.
Do y'all realize y'all just decided a whole series just then?
Right.
Not just y'all didn't decide a game, y'all decided a whole series.
Decided the series.
This series is over now because they down 3-1. It'd have been a whole different conversation this morning if it was 2-2 going back to MSG.
No, it's 3-1 going back to the Garden.
But it's 3-1 now. And Detroit was highway robbed.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Question.
Yeah, they were.
There's no question. I watched it this morning. I was like, who's not calling this shit?
I don't want to hear about no 2-minute report. The fact is, and Snowman has said me this, do you have a chance? No, Detroit did not have a chance because you didn't call the foul.
Right.
That was the end of it. There was no opportunity for them to win.
When I saw that and I messaged Playmaker that very thing, done.
This series over now.
To borrow the words of my good friend Accountable Commentary on YouTube, finito in the sun for the Detroit Pistons.
And it's not even their fault.
No.
Dunsky's.
It is not. It is not.
It's Dunsky's.
They're done because the opportunity was taken from them.
Yep. Twice.
They're done because the ref. They're done because the ref.
Twice in the final 30 seconds. Twice.
Yeah.
They missed 2 foul calls.
Yeah, the biggest thing is the refs botched it worse than Sin Cara ever botched his entrance.
This series is done now. They're not coming back from 3-1. Even though that does bring up nightmares for me in some aspects of Snowman would know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
But Detroit ain't coming back from this 3-1 deficit. Not against this New York team.
Not against them. Nope. Not a chance. What's the Vince McMahon song? No chance in hell.
No chance in hell.
You got
no chance.
Miami, I need y'all to do me one favor. Let's do what Memphis did in Game 4. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All I ask is for effort. That's it. Memphis gave me effort in Game 4. It just wasn't meant to be, but they gave me effort. Can y'all give me some effort? Because what y'all did in Game, I'm gonna stop.
Games. Stop there.
I'm gonna stop right there.
All right.
Save it for tomorrow.
Hopefully, tomorrow we get some WWE news from tomorrow.
Oh no, that'll be later on. That'll be later on today. Ain't about
and then the
Playmaker's
gonna hang. And then the Playmaker's gonna hang with us all day tomorrow.
That's what I said. Like,
more
hopefully
flames on the fire. What'd you say, Vic?
Hopefully, we get some talk from the Monarch of Wrestling himself tomorrow.
Oh, if the Monarch of Wrestling shows up tomorrow, dude, you know somebody else is gonna be poking his head in.
Oh, he's already poking his head in. I already know that. All right, thanks, Playmaker. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic black. I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
Now,
right,
before we go,
yes,
we were forgetting one thing.
What's that?
Mike Patrick.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
80 years young when we lost Mike Patrick, the original voice of Sunday Night Football. Him, Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire were Sunday Night Football on ESPN for all of us. Tomorrow, I will open the show with a broadcast dedication, not just to Mike Patrick, but to all the influencers of broadcasting that influenced me to get in the play-by-play game, which is now 30 years strong. I have a lot of people to thank. We'll do that to open shop tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. And get ready for some broadcaster highlight packages tomorrow as we honor Mike Patrick, Jim Durham, Jack Buck, Vin Scully, and a whole host of others. We're going to have some fun. Oh, and yeah, the Playmaker's going to hang with us too. God bless y'all. We love you. So long, everybody. We're out of here, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Joel Embiid, you still a bit.